Islamophobia is not even registered as a real problem within the Tory party or on the right. For example, very well-known commentators, Rod Liddell, Melanie Phillips et al., they deny the very existence of there being such a thing.
Yeah, but the former co-chair of the Conservative Party talks of little else, so we can park that claim immediately. Carry on.
Well, if you want to make a statement like that,
but you say the Conservative, it's not acknowledged by the. Yes, I will. It's not acknowledged by the Conservative Party, and here is a former co-chair of the Conservative Party repeatedly describing it as a toxic problem. So try again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you want this conversation to be an open conversation, or are you going to just hit me over the head?
A fact-based is fine by me. Now let's crack on with some facts.
Well, I just gave you very specific.
No, you didn't. You said the Conservative Party doesn't acknowledge its problem, and I pointed out that it does. It's a very senior member of it, speaks of it frequently. Now tell me what the difference is in your mind between the Conservatives' problem with Islamophobia and the Labour Party's problem with anti-Semitism.
Okay. Well, I'm speaking to somebody, my wife and her entire family are Jewish. I'm a member of the Labour Party. I'm a Corbynista.
See, I'm learning an awful lot about you, but I'm not learning anything about the differences between Labour's anti-Semitism and the Tories' Islamophobia.
Okay, well, the point one is that the term is within the general membership of the Conservative Party. For example, there was obviously a poll that came out last week which stated, nearly 60% of all Conservative members would not like to see.
Yes, I've already repeated that 3 or 4 times on the programme as an introduction to the question of what's the difference between the people in the Labour Party that are anti-Semitic and the people in the Conservative Party that are Islamophobic. So let's try, I think, with respect, mate, for the final time, let's have a crack at answering the question.
Look, James, I'm trying my hardest to engage with you. I don't want to be confrontational. I'm just trying to articulate my point.
Yes, and I'm pointing out you haven't made one yet. So finally, what is the difference between Islamophobia in the Conservative Party and anti-Semitism in the Labour Party?
The difference between anti-Semitism and Islamophobia with the Tory party is an out-and-out hatred, dislike, prejudice against people from the Islamic community. Within the Labour Party, what's happened is, unfortunately, because of a very long-standing support and opposition to the oppression that the Israeli government has imposed on the Palestinian people.
But you're the first person to mention the Palestinian people on this programme, and it's 10:38.
Right, and the point is?
Well, the point is that none of the accusations that are currently being levelled at the Labour Party have anything to do with support or otherwise for the Palestinian people. The question is...
They do.
Right,
what
okay.
it is
the question is about how allegations of anti-Semitism...
Would you mind letting me have 30 seconds to articulate my point?
Mate, you've had 5 minutes, and again, I know about your wife's family.
7 seconds into every sentence.
Because you're not saying anything that makes sense.
Context. You get 20 minutes to rant at the beginning of your opening.
This is Lee, who doesn't want to be confrontational. Go on then. Tell me how awful Israel is. Tell me how awful Israel is.
James. I'm a fellow raver as well. I like you, but just give me 30 seconds.
But why are you talking about nightclub habits when you could be talking about how awful Israel is?
Okay. So going back to just trying to articulate, what's happened in the Labour Party is there's basically been a blurred line. Islamophobia is a very clear thing, okay? The complexities of anti-Semitism is you have the government of Israel, the citizens of Israel, you've got Zionism, you've got Judaism, etc. They're all different things, but the problem is everything gets bunched together, and there's a lot of confusion both inside the Labour Party and outside the Labour Party. And I think the solution to this problem, I don't think we'll ever really get to the solution, but I think we'll get closer to the solution if all sides can be more open and have honest discussions. I mean, we talk about the fact that apparently the Israeli government, you can't mention the Israeli government influencing UK politics because that would be anti-Semitic. For example, there's £1 million bribe that went to Joan Ryan and a bunch of
Here we go. Okay, pal, off you go. 10:40 is the time. It's a libellous accusation, of course, that somebody has been bribed. If you can back it up, then good luck. I would obviously disassociate myself from that sort of language immediately. But thank you, because there is the illustration. There's this sort of curious sense of self-righteousness attached to Jeremy Corbyn's supporters who think that claims that investigations of anti-Semitism have been interfered with from the very highest level is somehow born of his historical support for the Palestinian people. And then it's very important you can have an open conversation in which I will accuse politicians of accepting bribes. And Lee hasn't got a clue how ridiculous he just sounded. And nor would, if they have the guts to do so, a Conservative supporter who rings me to explain why the problem of anti-Semitism in the Labour Party is much bigger than the problem of Islamophobia in the Conservative Party. Because they are, and forgive me if you're of a delicate disposition, I'm about to employ some rather fruity language, they are two pustulant cheeks of the same backside.